Hand tools in computer system servicing. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the different hand tools in computer system servicing, select appropriate hand tools to carry out the task properly, follow the task requirements in identifying and selecting appropriate hand tools. Before we proceed to the lesson, let's have this activity. Amber needs to use her computer to have an access to her online class since her mother brought her mobile phone at work. Since the computer has not been used in months, the keyboard is full of dust and debris as well as the cable wires and monitor. She also wants to open the computer case to see if the internal parts are also covered in dust or if they are still in good condition. In doing so, she needs something to clean the dust and debris on keyboard, monitor, and cable wires, and a hand tool to open the computer case safely. Based on the given scenario, select and encircle the hand tools needed in cleaning the computer and other peripherals. Is it a screwdriver, a flashlight, tweezer, anti-static wrist strap, multimeter, or a cleaning cloth? The answer is a cleaning cloth. Proper tool selection. A tool is a handheld device or equipment used to carry out a particular function in accomplishing a task. Using tools properly helps prevent physical injuries, accidents, and damage to equipment and people. How do you select the best tool for the job? First is, know and understand in detail the scope of work to be accomplished. Next is, plan for the scope, taking into account the sequence of tasks. Next is, have a training on the proper use of tools, field experience in their safe use, and following the manufacturer's guidance and instructions for that specific tool. Lastly, include all the associated tooling and consumable parts as recommended by the manufacturer when obtaining the tool. In addition, select and use related consumable parts according to their manufacturer's instructions. Safe use of tools. Once selected, use the tool for the purpose for which it was designed. Not all tools come with detailed instructions, but there are those that do spell out for your own safety, do's and don'ts. Environmental safety and health program requires the following. First is, all tools be kept in good condition with regular maintenance. Next is the right to be used for the job. Each tool to be examined before used and damaged or defective tools not be used. Tools be operated according to manufacturer's instructions. Lastly, the right protective equipment for the tool and activity be used. There are hardware tools. Hardware tools are grouped into 4 categories. First is electrostatic discharge, ESD tools. Next is hand tools. Third is the cleaning tools, and lastly, diagnostic. The first category is an electrostatic discharge or ESD tools. These tools provide the most basic means for the controlled discharge of electrostatic electricity. There are 2 ESD tools. The first one is the anti-static wrist strap, which is used to prevent ESD damage to computer equipment. And the second one is the anti-static mat. It is used to stand on or place hardware on to prevent static electricity from building up. The next category of the hardware tools is the hand tools. A hand tool is any implement or tool that is generated and operated by hand rather than a motor. Some common hand tools are the following. First is the flathead screwdriver, used to loosen or tighten slotted screws. Next is Phillips head screwdriver, used to loosen or tighten crosshead screws. Third is the Torx screwdriver, used to loosen or tighten screws that have a star-like depression on the top, a feature that is mainly found on laptops. Next hand tool is the hex driver, sometimes called a knot driver. It is used to tighten knots in the same way that a screwdriver tightens screws. Next is needle nose pliers, used to hold small parts. Wire cutter, used to strip and cut wires. Tweezers, used to manipulate small parts. The next hand tool is the part retriever, used to retrieve parts from locations that are too small for your hand to fit. Lastly, flashlight, used to light up areas that you cannot see clearly. The third category of the hardware tools is the cleaning tools. In maintaining and repairing computers, having the appropriate cleaning tools is important. Some cleaning tools are the following. Lint-free cloth, used to clean different computer components without scratching or leaving debris. Next is compressed air, used to blow away dust and debris from different computer parts without touching the components. Cable ties, used to bundle cables neatly inside and outside of a computer. And lastly, parts organizer, used to hold screw, jumpers, fasteners, and other small parts and prevents them from getting mixed together. The fourth and the last category of the hardware tools is the diagnostic tools. Below are the most popular tools for diagnosing your computer problems. The first one is the multimeter, used to test the integrity of circuits and the quality of electricity and computer components. Next is the loopback adapter, sometimes called a loopback plug. This tests the basic functionality of computer ports. And lastly, LAN tester, mainly used for testing Ethernet cables for faults or missing pair connections. Let us have a short activity to check your understanding. Identify the name and tell the category of the following tool. Number 1. For 5 seconds, give your answer. The answer is Anti-static math ESD tool. Number 2. The answer is hex driver or hand tool. Number 3. The answer is part retriever, hand tool. Number 4. The answer is cable ties, and that is a cleaning tool. For the last item, and the answer is land tester, and that is a diagnostic tool.